Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Ninjaxtx, and welcome to the 73rd video in my sixth round of philosophy videos. Last week, I got some bad news, y'all. Again. Um, and if you guys have watched my channel for any length of time, you know who this person is I'm about to bring up. Um, George Croly, one of the producers of the Little Port Show and the Fun Seekers Radio Network, passed away. Um, Unexpectedly. It was in as I understand it, it was in a car accident, and he had some health problems. And I don't know whether the health problems led to the accident or what exactly yet. But when I heard the news, it was a major shock because George was always so vibrant, and so he had a sense of humor that would just it would have you on the floor laughing because anybody that's listening to the Fun Seekers Network and the Little Report show before that knows the sense of humor that George had. Um, because after Ludlow retired and the late Denny Ainsworth took over as the host, um, George was the George became the producer, not the part time, but the full time producer. And when Ludlow retired and he passed away, the show kept going as the Fun Seekers Radio Network. Um, and a lot of it was out of respect for Ludlow and out of respect for the wackos. And don't anybody come at me saying, well, wackos ain't politically correct. The wackos know why they were called wackos. And we all love it. I consider myself a wacko, yes I do. Because I have a card. I am a card carrying wacko. Okay. Um, if you're from the South and you listen to the Little Port show, you know what that means. It's not a take on mentally ill people. No, it's not. So don't even go there with me. Um, as I said, the show continued after Lolo's passing, and Denny and the late Denny Ainsworth and George made it a point to continue the show. And George, even after the Fun Seekers Network went went off the air, George continued. George continued the show with a guy named Rick Simpson. Um, and I think that show lasted I want to say it lasted about a year or so, maybe 2 years. Um, but every time I would call in, George would have something crazy to say, and then I would say something crazy back. It would uh, we would we would even do this on we would even do this for each other on social media. We had a George and I had and Denny too, because y'all know how much I love Denny. George, Denny, and I, and along with everybody that was part of the whole fun seekers family and whatnot, we all had a banter with each other that nobody, if they saw us on the street, they would say, "How are these people connected?" We're connected because George, Denny, Ludlow, they all made it a point to make us family. So when one of us passes away, it hits deep. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this: George passing away. I hadn't talked to him in a year because he had some health problems, and my schedule just got hectic with everything I was doing. And when Nick Ainsworth, Denny's son, texted me a week ago and told me George had passed away, it was shocking because we we always tried to keep in contact with each other, and I had some issues, and George had some issues, so we didn't really get to connect as much as we usually did. But when we connected, it was like we never stopped connecting. But with his passing, it's like and I said this on Facebook. This is a loss that will be felt forever. I mean, the glue that held the glue that held the Fun Seekers Network together, as well as the Rich Simpson show, um, the Ludlow Port show, and a lot of us are scattered throughout the South. But the glue that held us all together is gone now. We have memories. We have the I have I think it's at least one CD of the best of the Ludlow Port show. Um, I know Nick and Robbie and some others may have more of the raw I want to say footage because it's not more of the raw material that they be able to share. I know there's a there's a YouTube channel on here, and we can all go there and remember and reminisce. And I with George's passing, I being able not to being unable to talk to him now, it's gonna be rough. It's been rough because there was times that I would go to George and say, "Hey, man, this is what's going on," and he would always say something to make me laugh, and then I would come back to my old um, self and just clown on him. He would clown on me, um, and then it would be back to normal. We would roll with each other and just. I mean, it was just a family. It still is a family. Um, but with his passing, I thought to myself, what what did he leave behind that was his legacy? And here's the thing. It's not, and this is the point of this video, it's not what you leave behind that that matters. It's not. It's what you leave in somebody and what you instill in them and what they carry with them and pass on to other people that makes your makes your legacy important. What are you passing on to future generations? What are you passing on to the generation that is with you now that they can pass on to future generations that they can pass on to people now? I think as long as I'm doing these videos, that is my legacy. I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to be um, conceited. I'm not trying to be, uh, you know, be all end all. I am who I am. You see the good with the bad, but I hope you see more positive than you see negative, and I hope it inspires more people to come together as one, come together as a family, come together as one race, not this political, social, or whatever division. It's not about the division. It's what do you have that can bring people together. We are because we are all one race. I'll say this again. We are all one race. It doesn't matter about the ethnicity. It doesn't matter about the religious upbringing. It doesn't matter about the sexual orientation. None of that. Because we are all one race, the human race. And one of the things I learned from everybody that's passed on before me, including Benny and George, we all have a sense of humor. If you don't have a sense of humor, you gonna have one by the time you stop talking to me. Uh, if you can't laugh at somebody else, you dang sure can laugh at yourself. Um, and I will say, I will end this like Ludlow used to end it. I will end this video like the late great Ludlow Porch used to end his show every day. Whatever else you do today, find somebody to be nice to. Rest in peace, George Croly. You are my dear friend, and you will forever be missed.